Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Whole Story. We are here on this lovely Tuesday. Man, we had a holiday last week, Alex. We had car troubles this week for yourself, but we're here.
Yeah.
And a lot has happened since we've been here, and I'm kind of excited to jump into it.
Yeah, we got a home race winner. We got a new contract signing. We got some new rumors. Not really rumors, just more storylines we could just make up. But yeah.
Yeah. Man, let's start with the home track winner here. Charles Leclerc finally broke the Monaco curse. It wasn't the regular call. It was the F1 TV Sky Sports call, but it brought people to tears. I'm not going to say myself, but it was pretty close.
I was excited for the guy, but it wasn't same thing. I was more excited for Lando's win than Charles, but I'm happy he broke the curse.
I gotta agree with you. Yeah, I think Lando's first win was more exciting than Charles just breaking the Monaco curse.
I think it's just because it's Monaco.
Yeah,
it's just a boring race.
Oh God, the race was so bad.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was making breakfast the entire race.
How worse was that red flag at the beginning? How much worse did that make the race?
I think what sucked about that red flag too at the beginning was it was bad, and then while it is K-Mag's fault. He shouldn't go and make that move. And then the Ocon incident too, which creates some more storylines for us later on to talk about. But it's also the fact that Checo was back there in the first place. Yep. That car shouldn't be out in Q1.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But yeah, it was another boring race in Monaco. Monaco just letting us down consistently. I do think multiple mandatory pit stops would be cool.
I think so too, but I think at the end of the day, what's going to draw people in is we want to see overtaking on track. Overtaking in the pit stops, it's cool, but it's more it's not racing. It's just a team strat call. You know what I mean?
I guess, but you're not going to see overtaking.
No, you're never going to see. No, unless they find a way to make these cars smaller.
So we either need to move on or we need to change it, but we can't keep doing this.
Yeah, it's bad. I think that what's that turn that's right after? It's an instant. It's not a chicane. I think it might be a chicane. I don't know. It's an instant. There's one that's that turns completely unnecessary. They just make it straight. I think it's turn 11, maybe.
The
not the crazy chicane. Not
coming out of the tunnel.
No. Is it the tunnel? Yes, I think when they're turning and they could literally make the road just keep on going straight, but instead they have a turn here and then they go around it like this.
Huh.
I'd have to see. I saw it in the race and I'm they could just make this straight and it would add a little bit of more raceability because it makes you slow down entirely just to go. Because all it is a rounded bend like this, and it goes back to where the road is. I'll find a video clip of it and I'll send it to you.
You mean is the tunnel out?
It might be. I think it's right. I think it might be right after the tunnel. Yeah.
I'm just thinking because I don't know. The problem is that the next turn is too fast, so it'd be super sketchy going through there. And then I think they would carry so much speed going at spectators.
That's true too. That crash is nasty too when you see it from a spectator point of view for the Checo crash.
And that's not even nearly as high speed as they would be.
They're pretty slow.
They would be.
They're really slow there, yeah.
We made Alex's track changes. I like it, but it's just...
I'm just trying to... I don't know. They have to do something with the track or get rid of it. You know what's crazy, too, is I was thinking about the other day, even before when we did our race preview or whatever, I was if I could go to any race, it would be Monaco. Because, you're so close to the track. Having an apartment there must be... amazing, or a home there or whatever, and just watching the race go by your place. But it's just for spectators, it's just boring. It's really boring.
I would not go to Monaco. That'd be so far down on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the whole allure of Monaco is what drives me in.
You would have to give me a free vacation. I wouldn't spend $1 to go there.
That's fair.
I'd spend a lot of money other places before I went there. But yeah, no, there was big yachts. Cool stuff, I guess. I guess the biggest thing besides the Charles Leclerc winning was Max Verstappen kind of being behind the 8 ball all weekend and then kind of stepping on his own toes and hitting the wall in qualifying. And we never got to see that final lap out of him.
I don't think he felt confident enough to even finish that lap to begin with. Even if he doesn't hit the wall there, I still don't think he's qualifying. I think he's qualifying higher. I don't think he's qualifying ahead of Charles there.
Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, that Red Bull was struggling the entire weekend. I've heard rumors that Max is also isn't happy with this car coming into Canada.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm taking with a great assault because the Red Bull tends to just show up race day or qualifying day every single time. But yeah, they were struggling all weekend. He's saying he was slipping around. He was slipping around the entire time. Obviously, Checo not helping the situation by qualifying by getting knocked out in Q1. But that Red Bull was not looking too swift this weekend or that weekend.
Yeah, no, not at all. And before we move on and start talking about Canada, let's discuss the drivers' smorgasbord that we got going on here.
A lot happening here.
Esteban Ocon leaving Alpine. A lot of the memes and pictures that are coming up where Alpine had Piastri, Fernando, and Ocon at one point. Now they're all gone.
Yeah.
There was that incident in Monaco where he kind of jumped the gun on his teammate, kind of ruined the day for a double points finish.
So yeah, it's more than that one incident per se. I know the team manager, the team owner, or somebody. I know he got a stern talking to from with Ocon. Like Ocon was reprimanded for that whole Monaco situation. But it's more like his act. Like in that moment, it was a very selfish act. There's no reason for him to overtake on track, especially in Monaco. Like you have to do what you can. Like Carlos did for Charles. Like he said, hey, we're gonna do anything we can to make sure Charles wins this race. Alpine, you're fighting for points. You're competing against Williams. You're competing against Haas. For these points, these last few points, and you have a situation where you can get in the points, you do what you can for the team at that point. And this has been a common occurrence with a lot of Ocon and his teammates. For those of you who don't know, Pierre and Ocon hate each other. They hate each other's guts since like karting days, and they just can't fix this relationship. Yeah. And neither of their egos are allowed to back down from the situation. Yeah. And Ocon especially refuses to back down. Yeah. And it's been a common thing with him, and they're just sick of it. They're sick of his attitude. Curious where he goes in the future. I know he's in talks with a few other teams here and there. I don't know where he's going to go. I'm also curious where that seat's going to get filled by, with that extra seat. I can see Yuki going there. I think Yuki would be a nice fit there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, it was he's produced them some good results, but, even a win in the past, we can't. But, the results this year, him and Pierre, they're averaging the same. That car just stinks. You've had Esteban's been there a long time.
He has. I think he was there before they switched over to Alpine, if I remember right.
Yeah,
I think he was with Renault towards the end.
I forget the years that they said, but it was some years that he's been there.
He's been there a while.
So just looking for a change of scenery. We'll see if he goes on the Carlos Sainz tear the rest of the year. And just kind of outperforms that car as he's looking for a job, but.
I think he has a lot of potential. I think his ego and his attitude gets in the way of himself a lot, though.
Yeah.
He was a Mercedes driver for a while. I know he's always rumored for that Mercedes second seat for a little bit, too. He's one of the people that I've been talking to. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he either ends up at, like, Williams or he ends up out of a job.
Yeah, so open seats are one at Williams.
Yeah.
One at Kick.
Yep.
And that's the only open confirmed seats. You're waiting on some other stuff. And Mercedes, which won't happen.
Who did Nico sign with again?
Kick.
So yeah.
And then one open seat at Haas, but I find that hard.
Yeah, I think it's solidified as Behrman's going to be taking that seat.
Yeah. McLaren's all set. Ferrari's all set.
I could see Haas dropping K-Mag, especially after this weekend. He caused a lot of damage.
You think they run Behrman and Esteban?
I think
their driver lineup?
It could.
Ooh, that's spicy. I like it.
It could. I do think they want. I don't think Haas wants a chance with two rookies again, like they had with Mazepin and.
Who would be their two rookies?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, Behrman's one. Behrman's rumored to be.
So you either keep K-Mag in there or put Esteban in.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think they would. I think K-Mag's gone. Is what I'm trying to get at. And then I think they want to fill that seat with another like veteran like driver.
Okay, I respect it. Esteban would be a guy. But then the other news that plays into all this is that Red Bull has re-signed Sergio Perez, re-signed Sergio to a 2-year deal through 2026. A move that I don't like. I think it's a bad move. Alex, on the other hand, says he sees it coming with Red Bull, and it's not shocking to him.
I saw it coming. I think it's just like, because there's always these rumors that Max is going to leave. Max isn't going anywhere. I think we both can agree on that. I don't think Max is going anywhere. He's not going to leave the fastest car.
I agree.
I think the only thing that I found shocking to this deal was that it was a 2-year deal. I thought he was just going to get a 1-year deal. Whoever his manager is or owner or whoever it is that's negotiating for him, his agent, did a great job of getting a 2-year deal because I didn't think they were going to give him a 2-year deal. But yeah, I mean, Checo's a safer option. He's just safe, and Red Bull's not looking for any sort of competition in their team. So they keep him until 2026, right? Because he has
through 2026.
Yep. So he'll be in the new regs then with that Red Bull.
Yep,
for the first year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with there. I think that's when they're gonna make their final decision whether they hang on to him or not, or if he's gonna retire.
Are you surprised though? So you're surprised in the 2 years, and absolutely so am I. But are you surprised that they did it so early on in the season when he's in a lull right now with his driving?
I think the only other driver they were really taking a look at it at all was Carlos. And then Carlos has slowed down a bit, which has nothing to do with Carlos's talent as a whole. It's just so it's the way the cookie crumbles.
So you keep Sergio in that Red Bull seat over Carlos?
I would personally want Carlos, but I do 100%. I think I personally would, but that's also like I'm not a team owner. I'm not looking at the dynamic of hey, are Carlos and Max gonna get along? Okay, because I think Carlos is a lot quicker of a driver than Checo. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But Carlos is also a person who I think who won't listen to orders. If team orders tell you hey, block for Max, he's not. I don't think he's gonna do that. I think Red Bull wants a number 2 driver. They don't want somebody to compete with Max. Like about Bottas to Hamilton, if you will.
Okay.
During the Mercedes dominance.
I just think that Red Bull's. I look at this as a move that they're throwing in the towel on the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, and they have a chance of losing it this year. Really,
yeah,
they have
do.
a really strong chance of losing it this year. Ferrari and McLaren they're producing consistent results. These drivers are always like within a few places of each other, finishing like 1 or 2 places behind each other.
Yes.
And they have a really strong chance of losing it this year. And then next year, of course, like these cars are going to catch up even more. Mm-hmm. And then losing Newey is going to be a big loss for them. And obviously he's probably going to, he's not going to throw in the towel and not help with the car, but I don't think he's also giving it his all to help design this next year's car either.
Keep going, brother. I couldn't agree with you more. I just think that Charles and Carlos look too good this year. Oscar,
you got Lewis going in next year. You can't. That Lewis Charles lineup is going to be insane.
Yeah, Lewis
and
Charles,
then, like those two World Driver Championship caliber drivers, and then you got Checo, who's like consistent. Don't get me wrong; he'll get you like a top 5 position. Like,
will he though?
He should.
Will he?
He should, but he's been struggling. He should be. But he is definitely struggling. McLaren, obviously, Oscar, I think is coming into his own this year again. Started a little rough in the beginning, but I think with the new upgrades, he's proven that he's quick.
Yeah.
He qualified, I think P2 2 races in a row. Am I right at that? Because he qualified P2, but then he had the 3-place grid penalty. Oh no, was it P3 and he had 3-place grid penalty?
I don't know, but he qualified either second or third at Imola, and then second.
And then second at Monaco. Yeah. So Oscar's coming into himself. I think if what Max is saying is true and that Red Bull is struggling, I could see Oscar stealing a win this year. Oscar is competing. I think Oscar's a Lando caliber driver. Just a strong driver. That's a strong driver lineup there.
Yeah.
Red Bull is just like you said, throwing in the towel for that constructors.
Wow, I love it because usually man, me and you are lined up exactly. Those are our thoughts.
It's just crazy because we're hearing rumors all over the place. I've heard rumors that now that Ricciardo's staying for VCAP for the next year. Yeah, he's pretty locked in, solidified in his driver's seat.
Well, I heard that he's more locked in if Yuki leaves.
So I think Yuki's gone.
Okay.
I think Yuki's gone. I think he's done with he's seeing because Yuki's arguably the most consistent driver on the grid right now who's not in the top 3 or 4 teams.
Nope, 1,000%.
So he's been consistent. I think he's placed out of the points once this year maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe but I know it's been P7, P10, P7, P10. Mm-hmm. He's been getting them consistent points and Red Bull's not even giving him a shot. So he's just wasting his time there. So he's going to look at he's going to be a sponge taking all the knowledge he can from the Red Bull Academy teams. That it's a great team to learn from. But he's going to end up at another team. I think Alpine's a solid team for him. I'd love to also see him alongside, I know it's never going to happen, but the Dash and Martin, I think would be a good fit for him. Yeah. Just a quick midfield car.
Yeah. You got new tattoos?
I just got a new tattoo, yeah. A few weeks ago.
Everyone's seeing it too, right?
I think they see it now.
Yeah, that's the perfect view for it too. Yeah. Shouts out New Ink. Yeah. If Yuki bounces, then V-Carb, whatever they are, definitely keeps Danny Rick and brings in Liam Lawson.
Liam Lawson. Do they have somebody else in their junior driver program? Have you heard of?
Or is it just Liam Lawson is their man? Yeah. So that all makes sense. Ryan asked, "Is Alpine's car better than Haas's?" Right now, Haas is looking better.
Again, which is crazy because they lost their entire team. I don't know. I don't even know who's working on that car. It might be Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon themselves.
Yeah.
But that was something I did want to bring up. They look like they're competing for points positions now. The last few,
Yeah,
they're gonna finish like anywhere from like 14th to like 9th.
Yeah, well, at least they're not 18th, 19th, 19th, 20th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this link off to Mick here because we're getting close.
So we got Williams, Kick.
But the thing with Sergio staying at Red Bull is that means that Carlos Sainz is not getting the Red Bull seat, which basically leaves him for Williams and Sauber.
And Haas, potentially.
That's
such a crappy.
Either way, it looks like he's going backwards.
Yeah,
he will be a
sucks.
team's number one, and they will build around him. But he's going with a car that's slower, which is not what Alex wanted to see. It's not what I wanted to see. I think everyone generally wanted to see him in a faster car. Mercedes doesn't look like they're going with him, but it would be a shocker. But I haven't seen anything leaning that way.
Either. I saw Mercedes I think Mercedes is heavily rumored to be going with Kimi.
Yep.
Which would be a shocker for Mercedes because I don't think they put any young drivers in that seat at all since Lewis has been there. Because I know George is sitting for a while.
Yeah, the team's still generally pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
When they started, they had a lineup of Rosberg, who was potentially young, and Schumacher.
Yeah, but Rosberg came from Williams.
Yeah, but potentially young.
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying straight rookie?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like right off the rip. You know what I mean? Like generally they give you a few years. Like George was there 3 years in Williams.
Yes, at
3
least.
years, and then he got into that seat. And George is rumored to be a World Drivers' Championship talent for a while.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they're settling for Kimi, but I guess they also don't want to. Like I know Toto's really distraught about losing Max, so he doesn't want to miss that opportunity again with Kimi.
Nope.
Did you see that overtake by Behrman on Kimi during the F2 race, Monaco race?
Oh, I think I did see a highlight.
That was actually insane. That was an insane move by Behrman.
Well, that's the weird thing is that Kimi's not like exactly dominating F2.
No, he's not. I mean, like I know he's been testing with the one of the W12, 13, 14 or whatever, and he's been showing. I
forget what the rule is. It's like 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah, I know he's been showing like pretty better results than Mick Schumacher already.
Oh, poor Mick. He's trying to get back in. That's not happening.
He's out of a job.
So we're going to Canada this week. Man, to me, this is a real interesting week because we have Lando Norris running up on the back of Max Verstappen at Imola 2 races ago. We have Max looking on his back foot all weekend in Monaco. I don't want to harp on an 6th place finish too much because it's Monaco. He probably at another track he could have passed cars.
Once you qualify, you're stuck there.
But like, let's say that Ferrari or McLaren wins this week. I would say that this whole season is wide open.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is right behind. He's not far behind in the World Driver Championship.
No, I have the points. We'll take a look at him after.
I think it's like a 2-race swing he would need, like of probably Max finishing out of the podium and him finishing in first.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's not out of it, and we still got a lot of racing to go. Which I personally, as a fan, would love. I would love to see a competition towards the end. I would love to see Max on edge and starting to really start compete with Charles. Lando, I think he'd be competing up there. Can't throw out Carlos yet either. Carlos did miss a race, but
nope, he's good on points. He's doing really well.
He's consistent.
Yeah. They say that this track, Monaco S curbs, and that's what was really upset in the Red Bull car. So I don't know if they're just overhyping it, but I'm kind of excited going into this race.
They're definitely overhyping it. It's hard not to be excited.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Monaco. It was Imola the week before. Is what also kind of gives you that like false hope that maybe these other teams have a chance. But yeah, quick rundown as we wait for Mick. I know he was like driving. He's like, "Can I take it from the car?" I was like, "Sure." But on the East Coast here, Friday 1:30 p.m. practice. 1 practice 2 Friday at 5 p.m. FP3 is Saturday at 12:30. Qualifying is 4 p.m. on Saturday, and then the race is at 2 p.m. on Sunday on the East Coast for us. This is a race actually that I've seen that McLaren hasn't finished in the points in a handful of years, and I'm talking I think 10 years. McLaren has not finished in the points here, and I would bet the house that at least one of the cars is going to finish in the points this weekend.
Yeah, unless bearing a DNF for both of them, I can't see them not finishing the points. That's crazy to think about though, because they had. So 10 years ago was probably like that was past Lewis years.
Yeah, I forget. I forget exactly what the stat was, but it was a long time.
That's crazy.
10 years ago puts us into Mercedes. All right, I got Mick here. Let's see if I can get him up onto our setup.
I wonder what the time zone difference is there from Canada to us. I think Ontario is like East Central, so I think they might be running similar times to us.
Hey, Mick, can you hear us?
Hey, what up, fellas?
Hey, he can hear us. Alex,
Hey.
I think he's our first guest that's not family, and that I include Ryan as family. So, right? Is he
Like
our first?
on the show like this?
Yeah, is he our first guest? That's not family?
Yeah, like webcammed in.
I'm
Yes.
insulted. I'm not considered family.
Oh,
damn.
All this time. OG listener, not family.
OG
Damn.
listener, John, you did him dirty.
I did too. I'm gonna have to get some merch and send it his way. I did wear my Mick shirt just for you
Hell
today,
yeah.
brother.
Love it.
Sweet.
What are we doing? Big drive? Where are we headed?
I was doing work in Johnston, Rhode Island this weekend.
Oh, nice. So were you driving home from that, or are you driving to there?
Yeah, driving home.
Driving home. Alex,
Pulled
this
over
guy.
in the BJ's parking lot.
Shouts out BJ's. He's also our first guest that is a race winner this year in what he runs.
Okay, that's sick.
How many, Mick?
Just one. Would have been two. We got passed on the last lap Saturday, so got a first, a second, and a third. So it's a clean flush, if nothing else.
There you go. Are you leading points then?
Yeah, probably not. The guy who won probably, but I'm sure we're right there.
Yeah, we still have. You still got a lot of races left.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's running for points anyway. He's a USAC guy. So
Okay, then
I'll
it's all
probably
yours.
Run with them at some point.
So he drives from Massachusetts to New Jersey to race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, every
Southern
weekend.
Jersey. Yeah.
The
just
races are
about.
only in Jersey.
Where he races.
Yeah, they we do a crate sprint car, so it's a wingless sprint car with a crate engine.
There you go.
That's sick.
They do 2 Jersey tracks to them.
Yeah,
One New York track.
we used to race micros and quarter midgets together, but he moved on to bigger and better things and is kicking a whole bunch of butt. Dude, couldn't be happier for you. Before we get into our picks here, you are a Max Verstappen fan, right?
Hell yeah. Most talented driver on the grid. Of course.
Well, listen, all our guests are
Rock
welcome.
talent.
You're welcome to your own opinion, okay? Are you nervous about what's happened the last 2 weeks?
No, I didn't enjoy him fucking winning by 1,000,000 points every year either.
Okay.
I'm excited for it to be a good year.
All right.
I was happy to see him lose a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Lando especially.
That's what Alex and I were saying. Between Miami, Imola, Lando getting close, and then him not being happy at Monaco. I mean, there's no passing, so we never got to see, what the car really had. But he kind of looks beatable right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I think they'll probably come to. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Realistically.
I don't think they'll be what they were the last 2 years, but I think he'll probably win championship.
What are your thoughts on them keeping Sergio Perez as his running mate?
Hate it.
You hate it?
I'm
Hate
surprised.
it. He's so bad.
Yes, that's what I said.
He's been so bad for so long.
Yeah, these last 2 years have been rough for him.
Look at the 2 McLaren guys finish near each other. Ferrari finishes near each other. Mercedes finishes near each other.
Yep.
Red Bull, it's always first and fifth, first and seventh.
Oh man, that's what we were just saying. We were saying they're essentially throwing in the towel on the constructors championship just to make sure that Max has a chance to win the drivers championship. Is what it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
like
crazy
to
to
think
think about too.
there's some kind of info that they know that we don't. Maybe he's a really good. Maybe Sergio's a really good guy. I don't know. But
He might just bring a little bit of dirty money.
give me any like high-profile rookie. If you're gonna finish 7th, way off your teammate, and wreck a ton of times every
High-profile
year,
rookie is crazy.
What I heard
me
Mick
anybody.
just say was that he wants Liam Lawson in that car.
yeah, I mean, I would take him. If you're gonna finish mid, you're gonna wreck a ton of times a year. I mean, he's a lot cheaper than Sergio.
I mean, Max technically was a rookie when they put him in there.
No, he wasn't.
Was it? He
Worked
didn't do
out
a full
pretty
year.
good.
Yeah, he
He
did.
did a full year to Rossa?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They brought him halfway in
totally
at least the second year.
He took Kvyat's job and his girl.
Yeah, that's a savage situation. All right, Canada, are you ready to make some picks?
Hell yeah.
All right, this is so exciting. We have a guest picker live with us. All right, kick us off. We will let you pick. Who are you thinking is going to win the Canadian GP?
Well, Kevin Magnussen has been on a real hot streak lately. I think he'll come out strong in qualifying. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Max, actually. Max will probably win.
All right. Well, not a shocker. You're going with Max. Alex, do you want me to pick first?
I think. Yeah, you pick. Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I think our winner from last week is going to go back to back. I think Ferrari's taking it. Charles Leclerc finishing first.
I'm gonna follow suit with you.
Wow. 1 week, you're copying my pick. All right. Well, listen, you're going to get big points if Max wins and Charles doesn't. You might really help out the guest pickers this week, Mick.
You spelled Charles wrong for me.
No, that's how you spell it. All right, Mick, number 2, what do you got?
Number 2, I got the number 2 most talented driver on the grid, Lando Norris. Talent prevails in Canada this weekend, boys.
He's just going to keep throwing shade at Lewis Hamilton for as long as he can. He knows where Lewis Hamilton's show.
It's too easy nowadays.
Well, yeah, maybe he'll finish top 5 eventually. All right, Charles won. You know what? I'm going to put your driver second there, Mick. So I'm going to say that Max is going to bring it home in a tight P2. Alex, who you picking second?
I'm going to go Oscar.
Wow. Okay. You know, Oscar, I just wish I could get a little bit more consistency out of him. I like the pick, though. He's running real well.
He's quick.
All right, Mick, you got pick number 3.
All right, number 3, I got Chuck Leclerc.
Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. Charles, Max. You know, just based off, man, I don't know why. I'm riding this train too hard, but I'm going to go Ferrari. I'm going to go Sainz is finishing P3. Big day for Ferrari again. Alex, your third pick.
I'm going to go Max.
Okay. All right. So we all
Solid
clearly think Max is going to be in the top 5. All right. Number 4, Mick.
Number 4, I felt like I had to go with an Australian. So it's between Danny Rick and Piastri. I'm leaning Piastri. I think I'm gonna go Piastri.
Okay. That's a smart move. If this was a sprint race, top 5 order, you know, Danny Rick might be good for a 4th. But
maybe
this
top
isn't,
10 anyway.
Yeah, but this isn't Miami. So, all right, you are. All right, so he's betting big on McLaren here. He's got 2 of them in the top 5, 2nd and 4th. I'm riding. You know what? I'm going with Lando Norris. Solid 4th place finish. Alex?
I'm going to go Carlos.
All right. And then, Mick, that leaves number 5 for you.
I'm going to have to follow Alex, go with Carlos, former midfield superstar, or future midfield superstar.
Debatable.
No, what do you mean?
He said a future midfield superstar. They're going to be at the back of the grid next year.
Oh, wow. Alex is not even putting him in the midfield. He's going straight to the back.
That's going to be depressing.
He's got Kicking Williams.
Pretty much. That is sad, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have...
I could see him taking K-Mag's seat. K-Mag, he's been pretty bad. He's been wrecking a lot of shit.
That's how I see it, yeah. I mean, regardless, it's...
I think Haas should make the offer.
Yeah.
They hired Hulkenberg. Everybody thought Hulkenberg was done with, and Hulkenberg's been killing him. So that's bad job security.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. You're gonna rake Ryan. Ryan, who said he liked you earlier, is now gonna hate you.
Damn. Yeah, I forgot. I alienated Ryan, my only ally.
Alienated Ryan.
We only have 3 fans, and they're all pissing each other off. I love it.
I used to like K-Mag. I did a huge bet on Logan Sargent to beat somebody a couple weeks ago, and K-Mag just killed him. Last year, I had a big bet on Sergio Perez to beat somebody, and K-Mag just killed him.
So what I'm
killing my guys, he's killing his own cars. It's not much to like.
So what I'm hearing is to bet against you when you bet on K-Mag.
Yeah.
Take
I don't touch K-Mag anymore. I can't touch anyone on the back half of the field now because K-Mag's going to get involved.
Alonso's out.
Yo, he probably had like Sergio Perez to beat someone in the back of the field
I had
this
Perez
week.
top 10 last year. No, I didn't. I think he ruined my day somehow with that. I forget how. I think I had Hulkenberg over him. I don't know.
Oh, freaking
I was
K-Mag.
bummed out over that.
All
What
right.
do you got for P5, Johnson?
P5, Charles, Max, Carlos, Lando. Okay, so my heart wants to pick Lewis, but I said I won't put Lewis in my top 5 until he finishes in the top 5. So I'm going to be boring and go Oscar finishing 5th. Alex?
I'm going Lando.
You're going Lando? Okay. All right, let me take a look at this here real quick. Mick has Max, Lando, Charles, Oscar, Carlos. Alex has Charles, Oscar, Max, Carlos, Lando. And I have Charles, Max, Carlos, Lando, Oscar. So you have Mick and I both thinking that Lando outshines Oscar this weekend, but not you. We all have Charles finishing ahead of Carlos for Ferrari. And we all believe that Max will be in the top 5 and not Sergio. There's a lot of symmetry there.
Yeah, we're the same drivers, just all out of order.
They are the 5 fastest right now. There's no denying it. Mick, are we watching the racing live on Sunday? What are you doing?
Probably. What time does it start? It's probably like 9 or something.
No, it's
Canada, so it can't be too bad.
No, it's a 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Probably on during the NASCAR race. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, one on the TV, one on the phone. Yeah, when they're in the East Coast, like Miami, or even when they're Texas isn't the East Coast, but it's still like.
Yeah. I think Ontario is like Central Eastern, so it's like about similar to Texas.
Yeah. So midday race on Sunday. Man, what do you got? Any questions for Mick before he goes?
John, can you fix the 2 for Max and just put the dot there?
Oh my gosh, you're the worst. This kid stopped in a BJ's parking lot, and you're worried about the period behind the 2.
How's the gas prices there?
Oh, we don't have gas at this BJ's. City wouldn't allow it. Yeah, bummer.
The city wouldn't allow it?
No, yeah, I don't know. I'm only like 2 miles from my house. It really is. I was pretty damn close, but I got the text. So,
I'm sorry.
He had to lock in.
All good.
I appreciate your dedication for the show. All right, let me just hit you with some random questions that just popped into my head. Is Max winning the Drivers' Championship this year?
Hell yeah.
Who is winning the
Probably.
Constructors?
Ferrari. I mean, I feel like McLaren's more likely to fall off a cliff.
Okay.
I feel like they do that.
Which is crazy because I feel like a few years ago we would never say that about Ferrari. We would say that Ferrari would be the ones too.
Last year.
Yeah, but now they're looking much
Frank
better.
Foles is a goat, bro.
I feel like Ferrari, they blow individual races, but they have fast equipment every week, so you can only blow so many races.
I mean, you underestimate Ferrari.
No. We got a new Tide. They signed Lewis. They know what they're doing. Where is Carlos ending it up? If you had to pick one team, you're thinking Haas?
I'm thinking Haas or Williams.
Haas or Williams?
Williams, wow.
Yeah, that Williams seat is really hot. Because Bottas was supposed to be
over there.
Yeah.
I think even more Haas or Kick. I don't think he's going to go Williams. I don't think Williams has the money to pay him. They just signed Albon to a big contract.
I don't know. They should find some money because they need someone better than Logan Sargent.
Well, they're definitely going to replace Logan. That's a given.
All right.
Do we know how much these contracts are? Like how much Albon gets paid?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I only know Lewis and Max are in the 40 mil a year, I think.
I just know Williams has no money whatsoever. They're always struggling for money.
All right, last question. Did Kyle Larson deserve that waiver for the playoffs?
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you. I can't even believe that was a conversation. You weren't going to give Larson a waiver. What are we doing?
Yeah, I feel like they were just. I mean, it's been a while, but I feel like they were just trying to distract from bad PR. They canceled that race in the rain. They could have probably ran it after midnight. And Stuart Haas closing is kind of bad, so they're trying to get people to not talk about that. Is what I was imagining.
Wow. Are you a big conspiracy guy? Do you think that like the news, when they give us information, they're trying to cover something else up? Because what you just said is smart. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I trust NASCAR less than I trust our politicians at this point. So
That's insane.
maybe a little bit.
That is a wild take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust the politicians.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, NASCAR is just they're wonky.
I couldn't agree more. First of all, they gave out that fine for that fight, which was bad after they promoted it.
Yeah, right. Kyle Busch admitted to wrecking him on purpose. They did nothing about it. I mean, Denny Hamlin put a guy on the wall last year, 2 years ago, or whatever, and they tried to decapitate him. They threw the book at him.
I heard that Denny thought they were going to resume that race at midnight too, and Kyle was there, so that's why would you not resume it?
Yeah, Joe Gibbs thought they were going to resume it too.
Yeah,
Christopher Bell was in his camper, and they were planning on resuming it, and then he saw on Fox on the broadcast that they canceled.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. And then you're right, SHR as bad news.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, hey, thank you for coming on. This really means a lot that you watch the show. He's like family now.
Hell yeah.
He made the list.
Nice.
All right.
I will say, I think me and Alex have a little beef. He chirped Will Greer last year, and I've been holding on to that ever since.
He's been holding on.
I have a Will Greer Pats jersey. Will Greer is the future, not the future, but he's somebody's future. He is a stud.
Was
You're
he
a Pats fan?
Yeah, I live 20 minutes away from the stadium.
Yeah, he's from Massachusetts.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Why does it suck? They were fun.
I don't care. I'm just like, he's a Max and a Patriots fan. How much more do I not like either of those?
We're about to win an NBA championship too.
Jason Tatum ain't gonna do anything. He's gonna get dog walked by Luka.
Oh,
it's another one of my guys, dude. That's a Duke guy.
I hate.
You hate all my guys. Dude.
I hate Duke with a passion.
You hate all my guys.
Why do you hate all the mixed guys?
Time out. First of all, you kind of do have a rivalry. I'm also a UNC fan too, by the way.
Yeah, but he's not from Connecticut.
He's saying Duke. He said Duke. I don't care.
I was a huge JJ Redick fan when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I hate JJ.
He likes the Great
I
White.
hated JJ in college. I couldn't stand him in college.
JJ was dope in college.
Nah, I couldn't stand him in college.
Oh my god.
A white
was
guy
saying
can
they're
only shoot
shooting
threes.
deep threes
What's
and
not to
saying
like?
Redick. They were saying Jemmer.
JJ.
All right, so wow, so you're rooting against the Celtics
Everything
in the finals.
Everything. Hey.
Wow, this is just
Everything
so
Boston. I can't stand Boston sports teams. There's not a single Boston sports team I
Mick,
like.
people don't like winners. That's the problem. That's why he hates
okay.
it. It is.
You need to knock it off.
I was also a Jimmy Johnson fan growing up, so I've
I was
got
a Jeff Gordon
ton
fan,
of
but I didn't really keep
championships
up with
on my
NASCAR
mental.
like that.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon was like goated, and then Jimmy Johnson came along and won like
everything.
7, 8
Took over.
championships.
Is he like
7.
Is he like regarded as a goat?
What, Johnson?
Yeah.
I think he has to be, right?
Or is that Earnhardt?
I don't know. He had different ways of winning championships. Earnhardt wasn't probably running against as much parity back then.
Yeah, that's true.
But Jimmy was also kind of, resetting the points and then run 10 tracks that you're good at was probably a benefit to Jimmy.
Yeah, especially because they did the math a few of those years, and Gordon would have won if they would have ran the full point schedule like normal.
Right. Yeah, and he literally won 5 straight and just running the same like 10 tracks to finish off every year. So
Yeah.
He's my GOAT, but I can see how you can make an argument that Dale or Richard are right there.
Jimmy
even
Johnson's crew chief would tell Jimmy to make sure he hit the wall in his celebrations after race because the cars were a little sketch.
Yeah, stand on the hood, dent it.
Yeah.
Can't check it.
Chad Canals, the crew chief, would do some borderline stuff.
Did you see that video with the pit crew? They just jumped on the guy's hood.
Oh,
to take him
yeah.
down?
Did you see that,
Yep.
Mick?
Oh yeah, that was funny. Belly flopped.
I thought it was hilarious. It was like, F1, little floor damage, retire the car.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
From the top
Best
rope.
caption I saw was like a cop when he sees the #1 golfer in the world trying to get to the golf cart.
Oh shoot, I love the internet. All right, Mick. Well, thank you for joining. We'll have our
Fellas,
results.
appreciate the invite.
Yeah, we'll have our results next Monday. And hey, most accidents happen closest to home, so get the last 2 minutes safe.
I appreciate that. I might try to prove you wrong, drive back with my eyes closed. I like my chances. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you. Thank you.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Goodbye. Damn, Alex. I thought
You knew what you were signing up for when you did this. You knew what you were doing.
Okay, hold up.
Don't pretend like you didn't just chess master that.
Chess master what?
Like, Boston sports teams are horrendous. All right, you should know that. You're a Q's fan. You should stand more for New York than Boston.
I'm not gonna hate on greatness, okay? But wait, can we talk about the fact that I forget? I don't talk to Mick for very long periods of time. It's been a long time. That's one funny dude.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Oh my god! And he's kind of quiet, but dude, oh my gosh, when words come out of his mouth, I'm dying. Oh my god. I like his picks too. They're solid. Man, everything was funny, dude. I'm gonna pick an Australian, Danny Rick or Oscar.
I honestly thought he was gonna say Danny.
No, he knows what's going on. He's not dumb. Don't insult him. He was not gonna put Danny Rick in his top 5. Oh man, that was awesome. Ryan threw in his top 5: Max, Charles, Oscar, Lando, and Carlos. I like it, Ryan. Alex is like Boston Connor from the Pat McAfee show, except for he attacks the guests instead of guests attacking him. My dad was in here commenting. He's family. I like this guy. He said I got another shirt for him this year. He watches. He comments. He kind of is family.
Yeah, you owe him an apology.
But we got to lock in the family here at some point, or else the family's just going to be huge. Man, no, that was awesome. And dude, we have so many audio issues when we get like a guest on. Like we brought him on, put him up, clean audio, and got back off of it, and the show is not destroyed. Okay, let's. We have a lot to do here in a little bit of time here, so I'm just gonna say we're gonna look at our pick results from last.
You did phenomenal
from last week.
Didn't you?
I did good. So the top 5 in Monaco was Charles, Oscar, Carlos, Lando, and George. Alex, you picked Max, Charles, Lando, Oscar, Carlos. So you had 4 of the top 5 right, just not in any of the right order. So you got 4 points. I had Charles, Lando, Carlos, Oscar, and Max. So I got 5 points for Charles, point for Lando, 3 points for Carlos, and a point for Oscar. So I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. It was a big week. The guess, which was not AI, it was Carter. I just did not change it on the graphic. That's my fault. Carter picked Charles to win, and the kid is a genius. Charles won, Lando second, Max third, Carlos fourth, and Lewis fifth. He got 5 points for getting Charles right, and then 1 point for Lando and Carlos, so he got 7. So as you see, me and you are all tied up at 64 points, and the guests have moved into within 9 of us. So things are getting hot in the kitchen.
God damn it,
Max. I just felt like this was the year after Monaco 2. We're going to look at the driver points real quick. You do have Max still sitting in first pretty with 169. Charles stayed in second with 138, excuse me. Your movement comes. Lando bumping up to third with 113. Carlos staying close on his heels in fourth with 108. Just narrowly edging out Sergio Perez in fifth at 107. Then you have a big gap, but I would not sleep on Oscar Piastri in sixth place with 71 points. Couple more bad finishes by Sergio. That gap will close quick. George Russell in seventh with 54. Lewis in eighth. Fernando in ninth. Yuki 10th. Stroll 11th. Oliver Behrman 12th. Hulkenberg 13th. Ricardo 14th. And I had to go all the way down. Keep reading the list because we have Albon jumping up to 15th place with 2 points. Ocon drops down a spot to 16th. K-Mag drops down a spot to 17th. and Pierre gets his first point of the season, which puts him up to 18. Thoughts, comments?
Concerns, none. Checo dropping 2 spots, it looks like, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was not great for him. Constructors, the biggest news was that Red Bull is now only 24 points ahead of Ferrari in second, that's nuts.
That could change next race.
That could change next race, really realistically too. McLaren, again, holding strong in third. They got a kind of a big deficit to come, but they're racking up points. Mercedes solidifying their 4th place spot with 96. Aston Martin gained no points this week in 5th with 44. They need to be careful of RB. Got a couple points this week with 24. They're only 20 behind, which Yuki's not going to go get 20 points in a weekend, but he could chip away if that Ashton has bad finishes. Haas stayed in 7th. Williams jumps up to 8th because of a better finish from Albon. Alpine drops down to 9th, but they are tied with 2 points apiece. Last thing we get to cover here, Alex, today is our gambling odds. I believe Max went from minus 200 to minus 250. That could be wrong, but he stayed in.
I think it was 400.
He stayed close. I don't know about that. But what happened is Charles is now plus 500, which is huge. Lando is plus 650. How about Oscar at plus 1800? The man just out-qualified him the last 2 weeks and beat him last week, and he's plus 1800 compared to Lando's plus 650. That's kind of wild, no?
Yeah, I think they're really it seems like they're more like results-driven than anything else, because Oscar obviously didn't pay attention to like the 3-place grid penalty, which wasn't his fault. I mean, technically it was, but like his team didn't tell him, hey, get out the way. But yeah, that is shot. That's a big gap. I thought it'd be a lot tighter.
Yeah, I think it should too, and I don't think Carlos should be plus 2200 compared to Charles's plus 500.
I would probably put Oscar like plus 1000. I put Carlos like plus 15.
Yeah, I like both of that. You have Lewis and George at the same at plus 5500. Fernando plus 15,000. Then Yuki, Lance plus 25,000. Nico, Danny, Alex at plus 30,000. Pierre, K-Mag, Esteban plus 40,000, and then the plus 50,000 is the 2 Saubers of Joe Guan Yu and Valtteri Bottas, and lastly, Logan Sargent in the Williams. So a lot of things going on there. Man, it was a great show today. I'm glad that we were able to squeeze this into today, for sure.
Apologies for yesterday. Hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Listen, car troubles are car troubles. I think the biggest thing before we get off here today is that if Red Bull does not win, I think we have a whole different season going forward.
The dynamic that they're just throwing in the towel this year is insane, because it's just like they're losing money. I mean, granted, they don't really need it, but it's just crazy to show like how committed they are to Max more than the team.
Agreed. And I guess the second big takeaway besides is what the season will look like going forward with Max is what the season will look like going forward with Red Bull if Checo doesn't have a good race and Ferrari does and closes it up that tight point gap even more. So, man, a lot of great things.
It's just crazy to think about. They can't put any pressure on Checo. He's in a contract. So like if he doesn't start performing, like.
That's what I mean. Why give it to him so early? That's what I don't get.
That is
Let's see if he would have picked up his performance.
Too? It was like when I saw when it was released to me, it was one of the F1 Twitter accounts or whatever when I first saw it.
Yeah.
And it was a picture of Checo, and in the background you can see Carlos's Ferrari.
Oh really?
Yeah, the 55, and I was like, "There's no way they didn't do that on purpose."
Freaking savages, bro. All right, got anything else for the people?
Nah, nothing much. NBA season's coming to an end. We got NFL to look forward to.
It was weird. There's no sports on last night. No basketball. No hockey.
Some baseball maybe, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm a Mets fan, so I'm not watching baseball.
I'm not watching baseball.
I don't watch baseball. Period. I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep up with it. That's bare modes, and that's about it. I can't sit through an entire baseball game.
So you got Mavs winning that series. Do you care who wins the?
If I'm being completely honest, I think I'm rooting for the Mavs. I think Boston's going to win in 6. I just think they're too deep.
Okay, you heard it here. Alex is a Celtics fan. You heard it here first.
Okay, let's never say that again. I do think that the best players are on the Mavs. I think Kyrie and Luka are better than Tatum and Brown, but I just think the Boston team is just way too deep. Their starting 5 is insanely good. Their bench could be a starting 5 on some teams. They're really deep.
I'm taking the agreement with you on that one about Boston being deeper. Do you care about Panthers, Edmonton at all?
Is that it's
Florida
NHL,
Panthers,
yeah.
Edmonton Oilers. Do you care?
I think Greg DeFrancis is an Oilers fan, so
Greg DeFrancis?
I think so.
Okay,
I could be wrong.
So you're gonna root for the Oilers?
Yeah, I'll root for the Oilers.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know anything else about hockey.
Ryan, you watching this? He'll never root for any of our teams if it's anything neutral. But we're gonna root for Greg DeFrancis' hockey team. Thanks a lot,
Our
Alex.
teams for neutral. I would have rooted for OKC if they were still in.
Would you?
100%. I hate Boston.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're just supposed to root for our teams because we're friends, not because you hate the other team so much.
I was rooting for OKC in the West, though.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Let's see.
What else you got?
I'd root for the Steelers.
Okay.
Your quarterback situation is a little wonky now, but I'd root for the Steelers.
Okay.
I like George Pickens. I know Najee Harris isn't a big fan of. I know a lot of people on your team isn't a fan. I know a lot of your fan base isn't a fan of Najee Harris, but I like Najee Harris as a person. I like.
He's
Najee
okay.
Harris. Yeah.
As long as we just don't get carried away. Yeah.
I do have some beef with T.J. Watt, though. I'll tell you that.
Why?
He's the one who took out Cam Newton's shoulder.
Because of how?
It's just the way he hit him. It wasn't on purpose. It's just like, I got to be mad at somebody because it ruined his career.
Okay.
It happened to be T.J.
Yeah,
Watt.
it wasn't the car crashes or anything else. It was TJ Watt.
Yeah, it's T.J. Watt.
Okay.
He took his shoulder out.
Ryan said JJ Redick zeroing on the Lakers head coaching job. Yeah, they're saying that's why they are not. All these interviews that Lakers are doing are just BS until the finals are over so they can announce JJ because he's on TV. That's what they said is going on.
That's so crazy, man. I don't know why JJ would want to get a head coaching job. I'm not going to lie to you.
In the NBA, bro?
Especially the Lakers.
Dude, these guys are competitors. They want to compete. They don't want to call games. They want to compete. And being a head coach is being part of
dude, he has a good thing going. He could be running his own show in the next... I mean, he kind of already is running his own show, but he could be a big name media guy for a while to come.
No. Compete, bro. It's all about competing.
That's crazy.
Why do you think we play dodgeball? I play dodgeball. I need a little competitive fix here and there.
But the Lakers, man, he's begging to get fired in 2 years.
Who cares? Then he'll go back to media.
True.
If not, what if he wins with LeBron? He'll be set for head coaching for life.
They're not winning. LeBron's like a fringe top 10 player left in the NBA.
Oh, that's so mean. All right, let's.
You got Shea, Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid. I can go down the list, bro.
Ryan said they got a podcast together. Of course, LeBron is going to hire him. Yeah, that was the big thing. And then Mick said, missed a couple minutes and we're talking JJ Redick. I love this show. Oh, man. All right. Well, listen, it's time to go. Brother, we back to Monday next week, right? Everything back to normal?
If everything goes smooth. Yes. I'm bringing my car into the garage Monday, though. I'll tell you that. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. LeBron will retire or leave before Redick gets fired. He's 40. That's true. Especially if Bronny gets drafted somewhere else. Anyways, we got to go. Alex,
yes, sir.
People, we love you. We miss you.